Okay, so another day has passed. We made a video yesterday outlining our thoughts on the European Super League and our club's involvement in it, and of course the rest of the club's involvement too. In the last hour, we got the news that City and Chelsea pulled out, and then there was a bit of a domino effect. Other clubs have pulled out. Now I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all 6 English clubs have pulled out of the European Super League. First of all, I want to just make it clear that this is an unbelievable day for football and football fans throughout the world who follow these clubs. We were on the brink of losing touch with our clubs. We were on the brink of falling out with our clubs emotionally, and all the attachments being severed. And as fans, not just fans of our clubs, as fans of a sport, first and foremost, we're fans of football, and then we're fans of our clubs. We all came together, however big our platforms are, from people with Twitter accounts with 5 followers right up to the biggest of football fans and pundits on broadcasting platforms. We all came together and we all made it perfectly clear that we were totally against this operation of European Super League, and we've won. Effectively, this is a massive win, greater than winning any trophy you can possibly win, from Premier League to Champions League. This is as big as it gets, and this is a triumph we can all enjoy together. But there's a lot to talk about. It's not just a simple case of we won and things will go back to normal and we'll never forget this, because that's certainly not the case. So we want to talk about how this happened. Obviously, when you go back to yesterday, we got the news that the 12 clubs had agreed to join. You had the interview with Florentino Perez last night saying they've all signed legally binding contracts. This is happening, 23-year agreements. And this is going ahead regardless of what the fans think. You have the staggering quotes, which were fans' opinions were secondary priorities. We're all about maximizing our revenue. And when people like that make quotes like that and comments like that, it's people like ourselves, myself sitting near the 2 lads, and you people watching it, however many there is, we all felt the same. We all felt let down. And in fairness, plenty of people went down to their stadiums. I saw City fans and Chelsea fans uniting together outside Stamford Bridge. You had the Liverpool fans at Anfield. There was United fans outside Old Trafford. And they made it clear that this wasn't good enough. This is our sport. Football is ours. It's not yours to turn into, just an organization of money making. We're not the NBA. We're not the NFL. We have different fundamentals. And this isn't America. This is England. This is Europe. And we've done our way of football for years now. So what an unbelievable triumph. But we want to cover our thoughts on, from a City perspective anyway, of how we move from this moment onwards with our football club. I'll ask the lads now in a second what they think. But for me, I will, like I said yesterday in the video, if you watched that, we got decent views in the video. So thank you all for watching that and leaving likes as well. And your comments were great. I said that if City were to pursue the Super League, I would sever my ties with the club. I wouldn't make content around it. I probably wouldn't watch it. And I certainly wouldn't be buying jerseys or match tickets or traveling to games whatsoever. But now there is definitely room for mending the relationship between board and fans if they make the right steps to do so. Through, in my opinion, the first major step has to be some sort of apology and clarity as to why they made the decision in the first place to join the Super League. But there is room for mending the relationship. That's the main thing. The first step in reuniting the board and the owners with the fans was pulling out. And the fact that we were allegedly the first, maybe Chelsea were the first, some people are saying we're the first to do so, means a lot to me, and I know means a lot to Joe and Dara. So let's get into conversation now. I think I've said enough that I can on my own. Dara, fire away. I know you got a bit emotional when you got the news. It's a great day, but there's definitely a lot more to be talked about, and this is not the end of the whole discussion. It's just a big day for it.
Yeah, no, this debate isn't over. It's gonna come back. This whole Super League thing, we all know it's not dead. It's gonna come back eventually because there are money hungry pigs, as we've seen. But for now, take it in the now. We, as a community, as football fans, as a community, have come together, and we have proven that we're bigger than the big wigs who are running this. Every single football fan that's shown their outrages, like you said, anyone with any form of Twitter following, even people without a Twitter following who tweeted out with the hashtag, with the at the clubs, you've made a difference. We've all made a difference as football fans. We've made a difference. We are the reason this isn't going ahead, and I couldn't be happier at the minute. Obviously, there has to be an apology from every club. There has to be an apology. There has to be something to There has to be something to the fans, because those quotes coming out about the us being secondary to profits is abysmal. This needs to be fixed. There is a lot of room for fix, but this needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed now.
I I don't know. I think it's definitely a possibility that something like this could arise again in the future. But I think in terms of the sentiment of what today meant, it just proves to any of these money hungry pigs, as you said, that they're not as powerful as they think. Once you really, really pissed off the fans and they all united against you, your power was taken away from you. I saw some really powerful images and quotes and stuff on people's posters and banners they brought to stadiums about how we are more powerful than you. You know, you have the money, but we hold the power, all this kind of stuff. And this is going to send a message to future club owners that, you know, if you really push your luck, you will lose your power, as they did. The Glazers now, we're getting word Ed Woodward has resigned apparently as chairman of Manchester United. He's stepping down at the end of the season. There's rumours that the Glazers are looking to sell Manchester United. And Yeli, who was one of the front runners and the drivers in this whole production or this whole process, has stepped down from Juventus. They have cowardly stepped back, and they've decided rather than try apologize and make amends with the fans, which I probably think it would have been hard for definitely the Glazers and Woodward to do so with United because they hate them anyway. They just stepped down and said we've had enough. Now I don't know if the thing about the Glazers is true, but there's just rumors on Twitter that they've decided they want to pull the plug and just sell up Man United, which it'd be hard to sell United because I think they're looking for a minimum of like 6 billion for whoever will buy the club, and you would think it'll be another either American company or maybe Saudis, like similar to Sheikh Mansour. Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely going to send out a massive statement to future club owners and hopefully our current owners. I don't think Abramovich will leave Chelsea. I highly doubt the Sheikh will leave Manchester City. I don't know about Khaldoon. I mean, I really don't know what's going on in the City boardroom right now. I know that we got a tweet in confirming a few minutes ago that from Madrid Zone here saying the 12 Super League clubs are currently in a Zoom call. I assume that Zoom call is terminating the whole process, is terminating the whole league, saying, you know, the 6 English clubs have left, saying, listen, Mr. Perez, you're on your own here. We don't want to be part of this, and we've confirmed leave. So I assume that that's what that call's about. But yeah, I don't know from City perspective. I don't know what Khaldoon's plan is. We really don't know. I assume over the next few days we'll either get some sort of an apology, some sort of maybe clarity as to why they joined, or maybe they'll say nothing at all, and then City fans will have a reaction to that. Because I, for one, would love to hear some sort of explanation as to why we agreed to get into this whole process in the first place. It can't have been anything major if it was a case where it could be reversed in 48 hours. Very fickle, cowardly move to join that in the first place. If they were really, really serious about it, they would have just been like, forget the fans, we're going ahead with this. But I mean, credit, I suppose, where it is due. They pulled out and they were one of the first to do so. Joe, you want to hop in, mate, and give us some of your thoughts?
It's not just the Super League that's collapsed. It's, you know, chairman, owners, the whole lot of it's falling apart, crumbling. People are resigning left, right, and centre, wanting to sell. You know, there should be a minimum apology and possibly even fines, point deductions. You know, even I think relegation is a bit too far. You know, obviously people have their opinions on that. They were saying, you know, put these teams down to the conference, League Two, whatever. I think it's a bit harsh, but I don't think, you know, it'll go amiss with some sort of punishment, because this needs to, you know, we need to go as far as we can to try and make sure that this doesn't happen again, because someone will try again in the future. This will keep happening because it's inevitable. People want money and power, they see it, they go for it, and most of the time it doesn't work because ultimately the sport is supposed to be for the fans. So yeah, as for Khaldoon, he's the only one I can see leaving. We've got the entire CFG. I can't see Sheikh Mansour selling, just given how much the club is worth now. But there's going to be a lot needed to try and repair, you know, this relationship. And I won't be surprised if some fans just don't forgive the club. You know, they keep supporting, but they don't forgive the owners and the chairman for agreeing to this.
What I would like to see in our ideal world is Khaldoon doesn't leave. I don't want him to leave, but I would like to see him come out and show his true character give an explanation, like I said, apologize, grovel, sincerely apologize to the fans. Say we made a severe error. You know, it was a really major error. We let you down. We don't want to sever our relationship with you. We don't want to undo the work we've done in the community of Manchester and to grow this great club over the last 15, 16 odd years. And I want him to, I want him to show character and do his very best to make the relationship back with the fans. We will never, ever, ever forget this. No, don't get me wrong. None of us will ever forget this, no matter what they do as a board. They will never, ever, this will never come out of the history books. But like I say, there is room for mending this relationship based on the fact that we were allegedly the first to do this. That does take some admiration and some courage. But going forward, it's going to be interesting. In terms of the Premier League and the Champions League, I assume we're going to continue with our Champions League semi-final next week against PSG. I don't know what UEFA have to say. There's still a lot to unravel in this whole story. The Premier League, are they going to sanction all 6 of the clubs? I have a hunch. Maybe this could be wrong or right. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think, and you lads can tell me in a sec. I have a hunch that maybe the Premier League recognised that City and Chelsea were starting to show their themselves cracking and not being totally cool with the Super League, and the Premier League said, listen, if you pull out right now, your sanctions won't be anywhere near as bad as what they would have been if you could continue with this. So City might have said, fine, we'll pull out now, and Chelsea might have said, fine, we'll pull out now on the basis that we won't get some, I don't know, relegation or massive fine or points deducted. But I do think sanctions are required right now. I do think punishment is required. This is unforgivable. From many perspectives, right now. I mean, in the long-term future, like I said, there is room for repairing relationships to a certain extent, but at this moment, there has to be sanctions to show that, make an example out of it, essentially, that if anyone ever tries to do this again, there's going to be trouble. And I really hope this never does happen again, because even though it was a short-lived saga, it was a scary, scary saga. There was people threatening to just completely cut their ties with their clubs, saying that's me done, I'll stop following football. And that's really sad, because football means absolutely everything to so many people like myself. Myself and the 2 lads here, we spend hours every day making content, talking about football, watching football. So to just lose your love for that at such a young age, I mean, we're all under fucking 22, 23 here, all of us are. To just lose your love and your passion for something you've been involved in your whole life is just so sad. And that's why today marks a really special occasion of us getting that back, us getting control back of what we love the most. And yes, these multi-billionaire owners can come in and buy clubs, but today marks a statement that football, at the end of the day, it belongs to us. It's ours. You, me, the 2 lads here, the people who joined the stadiums today with their banners and protested, the lads who didn't let the team buses into Stamford Bridge, every single one of them. Football belongs to us, not these billionaire owners. And I think that's something that we all should be very, very proud of. What happens in the long-term future of our clubs is actually irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant right now. It's the fact that we have control once again is the main thing. And I'm very proud. I'm very proud of not just City fans. I'm very proud of everyone who got involved. All the clubs, all the fans from all around, not just England. There was fans from clubs around Europe doing it too. When we got that tweet we saw from City Extra, breaking Man City pulling out of Super League, it was a literal goosebumps moment. Genuinely, it was a goosebumps moment. Chelsea did likewise, another goosebumps moment that was kind of like the beginning of hope. Really special, and we will probably make more videos on this because it's something that will be talked about for decades. This is one of the biggest sagas in not just football history, not just our club's history, sporting history. This was an attempt at killing a sport, and that will not be forgotten. We're going to do our Villa watch along. We weren't going to do it if this saga continued in the fashion it was, but we will do a watch along now, and we'll watch the game. If anybody comes in to chat to us, all of you feel free to come in and talk to us. We appreciate chatting to all of you all the time. Give us your thoughts on it, whether it's in the comments below or in our live chat for that watch along. We'll be there. We'll watch the football. We'll give our 2 cents on the whole saga, and we'll hopefully enjoy a City win and maybe a sense of normality again. But we always wanted to come on here and give our initial reactions to the news that the Super League is no more. So yeah, Thank you very, very much to all of you for watching. We appreciate the support as usual, and we look forward to continuing this content that we were so afraid we were going to lose. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, if the journey is just beginning. Peace.